Download the app for free and embark on a journey where your adventures not only become unforgettable memories, but also opportunities to earn. With Passport Bros, your travel content is more than just photos and videos. It's your ticket to a fully monetizable network of like-minded adventurers. Imagine making money from your travel stories. Post videos, share your experiences, and let the world be a part of your journey. But that's not all. Connect with travelers from around the globe, join co-ed groups, and make lasting friendships, perhaps even with foreign women who share your passion for exploration. And here's the best part. Store your earnings securely in your Passport Bros wallet. No hassle, no worries. Just seamless transactions wherever your travels take you. Looking for the best local experiences? Passport Bros has got you covered. Get personalized recommendations for tour guides, rentals, and the hottest clubs in town. Did we mention the app is absolutely free to download? That's right. Your passport to a world of adventure is just a click away. And here's the cherry on top. With Passport Bros, you can make money while exploring new places. Turn your passion for travel into a source of income, right from your mobile device. So, what are you waiting for? Download Passport Bros now, share your journey, connect with fellow explorers, and let the adventure begin.
Download now on the App Store and Google Play.
And we are live. Welcome, family, to another show. Man, we got a hell of a show for you guys today. I want to welcome everybody in the chat early. We're going to do a live reaction to my man, Dr. Boyce Watkins. All right. We're going to do a live reaction. He did a somewhat of a rant. I want to give a shout out to my man, O'Shea Duke Jackson. He did a video on this as well, but we're going to give a whole breakdown. I don't know if Boyce is trolling or what, but we're going to break it down in this show. All right. I want to welcome everybody in the room so far. Shout out to my man, Osuma Abdu. He said that beat is nice, man. Yeah, that's a dope beat, bro. Everybody laughing at the title. Yeah, man, they coming at us. Okay, now, he didn't directly say Passport Bros, but he did mention black men of the black community, which is a lot of us. Now, even though Passport Bros is inclusive of all ethnicities, he directed this rant towards black men. We're going to hear it in a second, man. We're going to hear it in a second. But guys, before we do that, do me a favor. Make sure, if you haven't already, make sure to download the Passport Bros app. Link in the description is free to download. All right. I want to give a shout out to my man, Def to Betas. It's FOH out of here. What's good? What's good? Excuse me. Somebody said Moist Watkins. Listen, I don't have an issue with Boyce. You know, to my knowledge, somebody said bacon, mayonnaise, tomatoes. To my knowledge, he hasn't really came left at the Passport Bros, to my knowledge. All right. And I know we're a big topic. I think he did mention it, but I'm not sure or not. Somebody, Nomad Knight says, Boyce Watkins pisses me off every time. Okay. Well, this is the thing about Boyce, man. This is the thing you guys got to recognize. We got 58 in the room. Guys, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. This is what you got to recognize about content creators who feed their baseline what they want to hear in order to turn profit, right? Boyce Watkins, you know, his main community is women, mainly black women, sisters, right? Women with children. So it behooves him to really always be on that side because he's getting his money, all right, his resources. He's extracting the resources from them. Now, he could be misleading them purposely. I don't know. I don't really know. You never really know a guy's true intention until you get around with him. You spend a little time with the brother, maybe have a few drinks, and then he might be the wildest cat. You know, you just never know. You never know in this YouTube space. You never know. But in this case, he went extreme. He went extreme. All right, hold on. I got a super chat by my man Andre from Andre and Andrea Love Crossing Boyce with the 20 mil. He said, "Let's go." Hey, I'm gonna do a panel later on. We're gonna do a panel today because I want to get you guys' opinion. All right. But I appreciate the super chat, my man. Andre did a good show, my man, last night with a kosher clinician. I had tuned in, man. It was a real good show. Shout out to kosher clinician as well. All right. All right, we got Ash L in the building. He says, I have big issues with him. He's constantly talking down on black men about being stepdaddies. Yeah, he's siding with his base. He's siding with his base, basically. All right, that's a way. See, this is the thing about Dr. Umar, Boyce Watkins. All right, these so-called thought leaders. Every chance they get, they will throw black men under the bus and able to side with black women, which they get money from, basically donations, whatever. They purchase their courses, and maybe young black males too. Don't get me wrong. I supported Dr. Umar Johnson, him building school. I sent some money and everything. I mean, all that good stuff. But the bulk of it, they know they're not getting money from black men. So the way, it's a very easy way to do it. Oprah been doing it. She made a career off of it, $1 billion career off of it, is to kind of throw black men under the bus. It's almost like a formula like the rap music videos, right? You get a hit single from a hot producer, you put some girls in there, you say you was the big dope dealer, and you sell millions of records. This was like the early 90s, 2000s and everything. It's a formula to this. And what they want to do is, by throwing black men on the bus, they're able to identify with a lot of black women who, generally speaking, as a collective, don't have high thoughts on black men as a collective. I'm not saying individually. Let me get that straight, because we know sisters love us. We love our sisters. But as a collective, we know the majority of the time just how they kind of view us is the blame game. It's the blame and the shame game for the most part. Now, before I get into the show, I want to play this, family. Are y'all up on this? Because I don't really keep on a lot of the news going on in the Matrix. But I was familiar with this story. All right. Now, check this out. That's my man, Nature Boy. All right. We're going to get to the show. We're going to get to Boyce in a minute. I'm going to let a few more people come in the room. But this dude right here, all right, they say he had a cult. He had about 4 or 5 wives. He was living in South America. And apparently, one of the women that he was married to wanted to leave, and he didn't let her leave. Now, this guy's a weirdo. I'm gonna put it out there. He did some fruity porn or something like that. But yeah, this guy's Nature Boy. Basically, his name is Nature Boy. Right? And I'm gonna get a super chat in a minute, man. Shout out to Classy Perspective. But so this guy basically, family, got life in prison, right, for alleged rape and revenge porn. Now in Georgia, I'm again going to say that rape is about maybe 15. It could be 15 to life or something like that. But it just seems to me, from what I heard from some of the witnesses, some of the other wives, that this didn't really happen. More or less, he was holding her against her will. But it seemed to me that the judge kind of threw this guy the book. I'm not saying what he did was right. I'm not really familiar. I mean, the eyewitnesses said that he didn't actually rape her, right? Because they were technically a husband and wife. But this guy got life in prison. And it's the thing. I'm going to play a little clip before we get to Dr. Boyce. But it's the thing, fam. You got to know when your card is up, especially in dealing with the judicial system, dealing with white folk, especially with power. You got to read the room. The judge said that she gave him life in prison, basically, for the way he acted in court, not the actual charges. First of all, if you're a black man, unfortunately, in the system of America, in most cases, you might want to take the plea deal. The plea deal more likely was 10 to 15 years, right? He might have served 7 in Georgia. He served 1/3. He might have served 7 because it don't really seem like the evidence was adding up. It was some of his wives were saying it was true. He did it. Some of his wives saying that he didn't do it. He said he didn't have to do it. He had 6 separate other wives. You had some male members of his cult. They kind of came in. They was like, nah, they kind of throw him under the bus. From what I could tell, it looked like he was throwing under the bus. But I'm going to show you where homeboy went wrong. I'm going to play a little bit of this clip. This is fair use, YouTube. This is fair use. But I'm going to play. Let me know if you guys hear the audio. If not, it's all good. Hold on. Now, this is him in the courtroom. For my young brother, know when to drop the facade, all right? You can't pull the little hotel shit on everybody, especially when you're in that court system and they got you by the balls. So hold on, let me start it right here. All right, so this is the guy Nature Boy. Now, speaking on this because I believe he had property in South America. He was kind of moving around South America a bit, so he was kind of hard to find from what they're saying in this news clip. But let's go ahead and go to the video. Let me know if you guys can hear this.
At the verdict and how long Bishop will spend behind bars.
Alleged cult leader Eligio Bishop is now a convicted rapist. Just minutes after the verdict was read, he was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole.
I understand that you all have reached a verdict. Is that correct?
After about 6 hours of deliberations, the DeKalb County jury found alleged cult leader Eligio Bishop guilty of all 5 charges he faced, including rape and false imprisonment.
Guilty.
The jury found Bishop raped a former group member as she tried to escape the alleged cult Carbon Nation and then posted revenge porn of the woman online. Bishop wasn't in the courtroom for the verdict because of COVID concerns, but watched from the DeKalb County jail and let out an audible noise before the judge ordered his mic off.
All right. Go ahead and mute courtroom C, please.
A woman who has covered the group online for years believes the jury got it right.
I believe that it's a just verdict. I believe that the courtroom today was very quiet and somber.
Following the verdict, DeKalb County Superior Court Judge Stacey Heydrich moved right into the sentencing hearing where Bishop's victims testified.
He said my soul belonged to him, and there was absolutely no saying no to him.
You were on high. Now you're a prisoner, but you imprisoned us.
Bishop then addressed the judge.
I forgive you, and I still love you.
Judge Heydrich wasn't swayed.
See, that's the part right here. Now, you guys see that he's okay. I'm gonna listen. Okay, there we go. You guys see that he's kind of going back and forth. We know kind of in our community that he's kind of like, okay, they lying. Like that's kind of like the here they go, these damn lies type of bob and weave. But the judge is taking it like he's laughing about what he did to him when they kind of more likely was putting on the front. All right. Let's continue. Now, this is where he went wrong at. Besides not taking the plea deal.
And sentenced Bishop to life without parole.
Mr. Bishop, you're a master manipulator and probably the classic definition of a narcissist like that I've ever seen. You took advantage of these folks who are essentially lost souls.
Many of his
Now that's all about perspective. They were all adults. She said lost souls, but all these were consenting adults, basically.
supporters weren't in the courtroom for the verdict, but took issue with the judge's words. They called the case one-sided.
This is a setup. These women are scorned. They are spiteful because they couldn't have Mr. Bishop to himself.
His supporters say he will appeal the conviction.
All right, so let's see here. We back. Okay, scooping a little bit. Yeah, man, he got life, right? And most of the women that he was with, when you're dealing with that polygamous shit and you trying to do a little too much, man, you laughing in the courtroom, she calling you a narcissist, you trying to sweet talk the judge. Oh, I love you, judge. I love you, judge. Bro, know when your card is up. Take the plea deal. Take the plea deal. You in the South, you in Georgia. They already kind of got all this other stuff going on behind it. You see the type of judge that you have. Read the room. Read the room, bro. Shut the hell up. Take the plea deal. Do your time. Get out. Now you're sitting in life. Now you're sitting in prison for life. All right. So yeah, that's what happened with the nature boy. Unfortunately, you know, I'm not gonna, like I say, I'm not gonna say he did a lot of people within his code was just like, hey, that's not what really happened. But in Georgia, in the South, man, you moving like that. You moving with whatever you got going on independently from outside their structure. And then you got that type of judge. You trying to sweet talk the judge or whatever you're trying to do. They threw the book at him. They got that man life in prison. Yeah, Ashley, he did put himself in that situation. It is risky about putting yourself in a bunch of women. And like I say, the man had multiple kids, man. So it's you know, I'm not saying that he should not do any jail time. No, none of us was there but the other women said that he did not do what the lady was claiming that she did. You know, so that's unfortunate to go to prison for life for a nonviolent offense on some he say, she say, when you got multiple witnesses saying that it didn't happen. If I'm thinking logical as a man, if you got 6, 7 other wives, it's a possibility that you did what you said, you did that. But more or less, being a black male, like, you ain't gonna force yourself when you got 6 other women. That just doesn't make any sense. All right, so let me get a super chat, man. We're gonna get to my man, Dr. Boyce Rockets. All right. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Hold on. I'm about to pull up Boyce. Where's the audio at? All right, let me get super chat real quick. We got a few trolls in the building, guys. Get them up out of here for your boy. All right, we got Classy Perspective with the 5 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. Propagandists who looking for black women support him and Dr. Umar Johnson. Yeah, that's what I said earlier. Classy Perspective. I don't know who that is, by the way, but shout out to you. I think you're on the app as well. Yeah, they speaking to their base. Every chance they get, they're gonna throw black men on the bus. Trust me. I mean, it's a whole formula to it. Scholar says facts formula for rap was outlined in that videos by the Roots back in the day. Yeah, they did. Shout out to the Roots. It's one of my favorite groups, actually. All right, let's see if we got some audio, man. What's going on? Hold on. I might have to pull this up on the net. Give me a second. Hold on. Did I not bring no audio down? Hold on. Okay, that's not it. Hold on, family. Give me 1 second. That's not what I want. This right here. Okay, so that didn't. All right, so let me just do this then. I'll see what happened here. Let me just do this. Hold on. I know you guys can't hear it. No worries. No worries. Hold on a second. All right. All right, so this is giving some context, family. This is what happened. Just to give it some context, it was a woman on a podcast that basically said that she has 7 children. I don't know why she would go to a podcast to ask this question, but she said she has 7 children. I'm gonna play the clip in a second. And do you think she can find a relationship? Shout out to Growth Talk with Copa with a $4.99 super chat. Man, I really appreciate it. He said support black male media. All right. All right, so let me play this right here. Let me cue this up. I had it queued up on the video, but let me cue this up real quick. Here we go. So this is the clip that he's speaking on right here.
I want to play this clip right now. Here it goes.
Mom of 7, and I'm 33.
Okay.
With being a mom of 7, do you think that a woman of multiple children is still capable of finding someone?
First, let me ask you before I make the statement. Do the kids have the same father?
Yes, they do.
Okay, well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Okay, so this is hold on. We're talking about 7 children, okay? This is no.
Y'all believe they're all by the same dad? In this day and age, y'all believe that? I think she was put on the spot and she just said, we'll be fine. So I think she just put on the spot. 7 kids, more likely at least 2 baby daddies. But we'll let her roll with that. And man, come on, ladies. I know mostly fellas watching this show.
No offense to you, because it's absolutely possible for you to find a quality man. But
all this damn makeup, man, all this makeup and weave and 1-inch eyelashes. God, who is saying this shit look good? Like, what's going on? I have yet to see them long ass eyelashes overseas like that. I hope they stay in the States. And if I'm not mistaken, I heard them eyelashes cost like $100 something, $200 something too. Man, come on, man. Like ladies, come on, man. Fellas, we gotta start saying shit. Man. We too goddamn laid back with it. It's all good with it. We gotta start saying some shit, bro. I know we don't really, have no say because we don't control the economics in our communities. But goddamn, yeah, we malicious, bro. Just stop it. Just stop it. Anyways, let me see what you got to say. Let's continue.
A tad bit difficult is that you have to find a man who has the financial footing to take care of you and 7 children. And then you also have to be able to find a man who is going to be willing to come in and create structure in that household. 7 children on one person is a lot to create structure in. So there's a lot that this man is going to have to come in and do. On top of that, creating a secure space for you when you have to be a mother and you have to take care of the majority of the things that happen in a house. Are you going to have the ability to be able to love this man in a way that he needs to be loved, in a way that registers as love to him when you have to love 7 other individuals? You're going to need a man who can love those children as his own. Yep. That is a huge responsibility to put on a person who does not have those children. Those are not his kids. Right. But if I were you, no disrespect, I'll try to work it out with the father. Oh,
no, here we are.
Now she had, you see that? You see that? She's like, no. Now he could be possibly locked up. Obviously, he's alive if she wrapped it that way. She's not a widow or something, but 7 kids. So you had 7 children with the man. Apparently, you had 7. You had 7 births. I'm assuming they're not twins, maybe. So 7 years you was with this guy. You had 7 children. Let's just say 10. That might be more accurate. And you don't want to work it out with him. You want a new guy. You want to find a sucker, basically, who's going to help take care of you. Right now, what the sister said wasn't necessarily that wrong. She didn't say nothing wrong. But here come your boy. Here come your boy, Dr. Boyce. Here come your boy, Dr. Boyce, the Mr. Cleanup man. All right, he come to put gas on the fire, basically. Let's see what Dr. Boyce got to say.
All right, guys. What do you guys think? Let's start with a simple yes or no. Do you think that that it's reasonable for her to expect to be able to find a good relationship, even though she has 7 kids and she's single? Let's start there. Let's just armchair response. Yes or no? Do you think that yes, it's reasonable? No, it's not reasonable. She needs to focus on her kids and kind of leave love off the table for a while. What do y'all think? And I'd like to know what you guys think, because I want to kind of lay out a framework to kind of look at this conversation. The first thing that I think that is missed in this discussion that nobody talks about is a fundamental, very basic, simple question. The simple question is this: who in the hell told you that it makes sense to go ask podcasters?
First of all, why are you using all this technical financial language? Bro, just keep it 100.
For relationship advice. What is it in the background of somebody with a YouTube channel that gives them the credentials and makes them qualified to evaluate your personal relationships or what you do with your children? Literally, go let YouTubers, let people in the comment section tell you what to do with your kids, and watch how quickly that screws up your kids. Because you got to remember that in the YouTube space is a space where Black trauma really shows itself in high form.
All right, we'll slide through this because he's just basically talking about the janky shit on Black YouTube. But here we go.
Actually has an intellectual conversation. That right there tells you that your community is not filled with people that are qualified to give you advice on how to build a proper family, because your community doesn't do it. 76% of the people that are giving you advice didn't even have a father in the house, and many of them are not married, have never had a healthy relationship in their life, couldn't have a healthy relationship if you gave them $1 million to do it. So these are not qualified to tell you what to do with your kids. So if I'm talking to this mother of 7, I'd say, to hell with these people think. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Like, I'd say, well, what credentials do these people have other than have?
I don't think you need credentials necessarily to say this is a bad deal for men.
Having a YouTube channel that makes you even want to make yourself vulnerable to their input. Talk to a therapist. Talk to a family expert. Talk to somebody who knows how to rear children properly. Talk to somebody who's got a degree in that shit. Stop talking to dumbasses who have YouTube channels. Did I sound mad? Did I sound triggered by that? That's because we all crazy. All right. Second piece here.
All right, hold on. Before he gets to his other rant, hold on real quick. I want to give a shout out to my man, Classy Perspective, with a $5 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. She said she made a lifetime investment and is expecting Cinderella results. All right. Shout out to Classy Perspective. That's true. That's very true. All right. Here we go with Dr. Boyce again.
Children are a blessing, but you don't understand that what a blessing children are until you get to a certain age and a certain level of maturity. The problem you have in your community is that you have a community that really lacks masculinity. So you have a lot of men who cannot even fathom the idea of doing the work required and having the maturity required to be able to manage a group of children. They never saw it. They never had it. They never engaged with a real man on a daily basis. They never had a man step in for their mother. So they really think that their job is to go around, spread your seed, put your penis in every girl that moves, show up to her house just to have sex and eat dinner, and then go home and literally reject these little children, these little souls, these little innocent kids that might be looking to you for mentorship or leadership. Now, I'm not here to tell every man how to be a man. I can't do that. I can only talk to the men who want to be men and those who already are there. Those the little boys I can't deal with, but I can tell you in our community, you have a lot of 45-year-old teenagers out here. You have a lot of men who don't want responsibility for anything. They can't even take responsibility.
Hold on, real quick. Hold on. You know, he shitting on the men right now, but hold on. I want to point this coming out by my man Eric Powell. He said his first point was valid. I can't believe so many people will pack a room to get relationship advice from randoms. Now, and when you a salesman, you always mix in the truth first that the people can identify with, right? So of course we're gonna all agree with that. That was Boyce is a salesman. He's smart, you know. I mean, that's okay. Yeah. Why would you ask for advice from some random podcasters? That's true. But at the same time, you know, the court of public opinion, that kind of matters in situations as easy as this. It's not too complicated to figure out if this is a bad deal. And she heard from a woman herself, right? Despite her having heavy ass makeup on, she told her, like, hey, you might go back to your baby dad or whatnot. Y'all had 7 children. Obviously, y'all was together for quite a bit of time. If it's quote unquote truly the same dad, right? So she got advice from the woman. So that was some good advice. Despite, like, we're not overcomplicating it by just listening to random podcasts. That was actually some good advice. But as you can see, he wanted to mix in a little bit of truth before he gets to his bullshit. You pack the bullshit in the middle. Truth, bullshit, then another truth. Let's continue. Hold on. Where we at?
For themselves. So the idea of imagining taking responsibility for a group of people, being a leader, leading a group of people, that's beyond their comprehension for some of them. So I can definitely say this. If I was talking to the woman and she wanted my 2 cents, I would say, well, if you're going to get a man that's going to help you with those 7 kids, you better find you a real man. You better find a man that knows how to hustle. You better find a man that ain't scared of hard work. You better find a man who understands responsibility. You got to find a man who has an investor's mindset where he understands that investing in young people is a good way to protect himself in old age. It's a great contribution to the community. You have to find a man who's got real masculinity.
So let me get this straight. The men that reject this deal don't have true masculinity. Let me get that straight real quick. Okay.
Masculinity is not just smoking a cigar. You see guys running around smoking cigars and growing beards because those beards literally are beards. The beards are fake masculinity used to cover up false masculinity. It covers up their weakness. It covers up their insecurity. So they think that that's masculinity. Drinking liquor, smoking cigars, and growing a beard. That does not make you a man. That does not make you masculine. What makes you a man is having strategic thinking, intelligence. What makes you a man is the ability to work hard for your goals. What makes you a man is being able to compete in the world. What makes you a man is being able to lead properly. What makes you a man is being able to take responsibility for something. That is literally a universal metric.
Those are some elements of being a man. You know, I think we can all agree with that. But once again, mix the truth in with the bullshit.
Of masculinity, even amongst mammals. They measure masculinity by how much territory you can control and how many people you can actually hold down.
Let's talk about mammals real quick. Now, we all know, I know you guys watch National Geographic. We know what people think it's only lions, but do you know that the majority of mammals do this? When one of them run off and spawn with another lion or something like that, what does the lion do? What does the lion do when he takes over the prize? What's the first thing he do? Elephants do it. Horses do it. They all get rid of the other bloodline immediately. We're not saying we got to do all that, but I'm just saying you talk about animals and mammals, then we all know that, you know, in the animal kingdom, they don't even the animal kingdom doesn't play stepdad. Now, keep in mind, he said some truth bombs in here. We understand that the youth and the community and the children are the future. We get all that. But we're talking about playing stepfather to somebody else's kids. Now, in some cases, that's not always a bad thing. I'm not throwing all stepfathers on the bus. I had a stepfather, right? He was great, right? But in this day and age, bro, with these type of women that they have, it's just not the best deal no more, especially when you see how the economy is going in America. So you try to motivate guys, basically, who probably don't even have any children. If you got children and she got children, y'all can make a little formula work because your children come first, her children come first. Y'all can come together. That's what they used to do back in the day. You know, 70s, 80s, they can kind of come together and maybe make something happen under one household. But nowadays, those days have changed, man. We're in a global space now. We're not only in a global economy, we're in a global dating world. And now guys can get their passports, travel the world, and kind of find what they want. Now, I'm not saying that you don't have to accept a woman with a child. You can date a woman with a child. But know if it's a good deal for you. That's all I'm saying. Know if that's the guy that you really want to be. Because truth be told, right? And he said a metric. This is a worldwide metric. You know what else is a worldwide metric for men around the world? I've seen it with my own two eyes. In these other countries, they don't play stepdad. Very rarely you see in Asia or any other country, right? Unless it's under special circumstances where she a widow or maybe it's a family friend of a friend. They do two blended families. It's usually some form of arrangement in that form. But in generally speaking, guys overseas are the last to play stepdad. We're talking about global metrics here. They're the last to play stepfather. Trust me. You got the best pocket of men on the planet right here in the West, I guarantee you. And women find out quick, fast, and in a hurry. They fuck around and find out when they start traveling overseas that they have the pool of separate, right? They have a whole system of aid in the West. Okay? The best bet is American men, right? American men go overseas and take the step overseas. So understand that outside the West, they really don't have any options like that. But within the West, you got guys like Dr. Boyce, like Dr. Umar, who are obtaining resources from mainly women. Okay, that's their baseline. And every chance they get, they throw you on the bus. I'll give you a prime example before we continue with this video. If you notice that Dr. Umar Johnson, he always comments on one side of interracial dating. He always talks about the black man with the white woman, right? Even though we know stat-wise, 88% of black men are with melanated black women. 88%, bro. Okay? You got more movements on the other side. The whole divestiture movement, the whole black men are dusties, that whole little sector of YouTube that's growing and they following. Even YouTube had to take certain content creators down because they were saying things like abort black male babies and shit. Why don't you go for that? Why is he only talking about one side? You know why he does that? Because he wants to throw us under the bus and able to identify with his main base that already has somewhat of a entitlement. I might even go say hatred towards us already. Okay? Yeah. You know what, Classy? You might be right, bro. Because sometimes I think that maybe he just trolling for views. Because his views ain't been just getting it like that. And even in this chat, when he's going on his live rant, they all saying, bro, what are you talking about? Like, where's the we just want financial advice, boys. We don't need to know about your personal life, you being a stepfather and how dope it is. We just want financial advice. Sometimes you can kind of go outside your realm a little bit, right? And the subject matters. And it seems to me that Boyce isn't really his, when it comes to women, Boyce has a real low parameter when it comes to understanding female nature, bro. That's what it is at the end of the day. But let's continue with his rant.
So a lot of your men are weak. They are the beta to the white man's alpha. They don't know nothing about taking leadership and nothing. All they know how to do is be pleasure seekers. All they know how to do is show up for the sex and dinner and then go home because they don't want responsibility for anything because responsibility scares them. So I'm not saying that every man needs to go and take responsibility for somebody's kids because you may not be qualified for the job. But I am here to say that there are millions of children in the Black community. There are millions of kids who, through no fault of their own, have no man that's protecting them. There are millions of children out there. And what is really fascinating to me is how many people will just look at that situation and say, fuck those kids.
Whoa, pause. You know what? I want every man in this chat. I just recently had a change of heart. Dr. Boyce just reached me, family. He just reached me. I want every man in this chat right now to take their passport, because I know you got it, and I know they're nearby. I want you to take this passport and take these matches and light this bad boy on fire and return to the community. All right? I'll let you guys go first. Return to the community and help them damn kids right now. Put a 1 in the chat if you're down. I'm going to let you guys go first, though. Put a 1 in the chat if you're down. To burn this passport up. Burn this blue book up, baby. Set it on fire and return to the Black community where we was raised at and help all them Pookie and Ray children do well. All right? In my matches, I'm about to put it on fire right here live, baby. Right here live, I'm about to put it on fire. But I need you guys to burn yours first. Burn yours first. And I'll be right behind you. Got my matches right here, players. What the hell is this guy talking about? Let's just keep it a buck. What is Dr. Boyce talking about? What are you talking about, bro? Let's what, bro? My man. Listen, man, those days are over with. Those days are over with. I'm just keeping it a buck. Nobody signed up for that right now. It costs $50 million to buy a goddamn house in America right now. All right? $100 to fill up your goddamn Geo Metro car right now. Or you're trying to get an electric battery car. That shit costs hella bread. All this shit costs money now, bro. You got to be self-preserving at this point. You got to tend to your own garden. That's one of the number one rules of Stoicism, bro. You can't help nobody else if you don't help yourself. And if you silly enough right now, at this moment in time, right, to take your little Bitcoin or whatever you got and be silly enough to sign up for that type of contract, at this point, that's on you. Shout out to that sister. She might got that golf block or something. If you're taking that deal, I know some of you do. I mean, you know, some stepmamas, they be with it. They know what they're doing. But if you silly enough, family, hey, that's on you. That's on you.
I just don't understand how you could call yourself pro-Black and say to hell with all these little Black babies. I don't care nothing about these damn kids. All I care about is my liquor, my weed, and my hoes. That's what you have. You have a lot of little 45-year-old children that walk around. You see the one guy, there was one guy when she said she had 7 kids, he pulled his sunglasses down like, oh, I ain't messing with that. And I'm not saying that somebody needs to go, that he needs to go be with her. He shouldn't try it because he's not qualified. He can't do the job. He's going to fail. But
not qualified, bro? What do you got to qualify? Do we got to pass a credit score to get with a woman with 7 kids? She's already failed, bro. That's a failure. That's an L. That's an L out of 7. Listen, max is 2. And she better be drop dead on the knees, everything. She better be the baddest chick walking, bro. And she better be overseas, too. But the max is 2, bro. The max is 2. That's the max out. I mean, that's max. 1, okay. But 7, you know one of them going to be a killer. You know one of them going to be a killer. We just taking the odds. You know one of them going to be on some Lil Yachty. What's the old boy name who did all them damn killings? What's his name, chat? The little dude with the little dreads. He just got killed in Atlanta. Now, this was years ago. What's the dude, man? You know, one of them damn rappers. You know he's going to turn out with one of them. All right, shout out to Eric Powell, the 5 super chat. Says you can take on that woman and her 7.5 kids, do all the work, and still get the shaft in the end. Yeah. I mean, kids don't give a damn about you. They want their real daddy. King Von. That's what it was. You know you're gonna have your little King Von, Mike M. Mike M said that's a good deal for him. Mike M, go ahead, bro. You got it. Burn that passport, player. Go ahead and burn it. Yeah, you're gonna have at least one. You're gonna have at least one in that batch, bro. That's just what it is. You got 7. They all probably gonna be fucked up. And it's the thing, I remember I used to work with this older guy, bro. And this older guy, he had 3 drop dead gorgeous daughters, bro. They were beautiful. He used to be a musician. He was a guitarist, right? He was a guitarist, and he played for some major bands, Kool and the Gang and all that. Tall brother, you can tell, he had been with, he was in the age of free love. He was doing this thing. So he had 3 beautiful daughters. But of course, you know how it is in the Matrix. He got divorced and she took the house and all that good stuff. But to make a long story short, one of his daughters, she was into the street guys and got pregnant by, he used to say, like Lil Wayne, a little short, ugly dude with dreads or whatnot, right? This guy was like 6'4", 6'5", or something like that. And he used to be so upset. I used to hear every day at work, he used to be like, man, my grandson dumb as a motherfucker, man. My daughter had baby with this goddamn pookie ass motherfucker. Got my son looking all short and ugly and shit, man. She fucked up my goddamn genetics. All right? She done fucked up my love. I got beautiful grandkids. My other daughters did right. They married a good goddamn man. Good job. The kids doing well. But my baby daughter, she like these damn street niggas, man. Fuck my whole genetic pool up. Yeah, exactly. That's what she wanted.
But what I am saying is that that nobody on that panel is qualified to tell her what she's capable of in her life. Nobody. 7 kids, yes, that is a variable. That is a variable. But there's many ways to look at that. You know what? I'm gonna tell you where I learned a lot about the value of young people is I used to be a track coach. I used to be a track coach for inner city kids. Most of those kids did not have a father. So a lot of those children looked at me as a father figure. And what I really loved was the ability to influence those children, to be able to talk to those men or those young men and young women and work with them and help them to grow into solid citizens in the Black community.
Now, you can do that. You don't have to play stepfather for that. Once again, he ain't saying nothing wrong right there, bro. You can mentor some damn kids. We're not saying all that. We're not saying all that. You can do that. You can be around and be a positive. I mean, I had some great school teachers when I grew up, bro. All right. Shout out to my man, Mr. Williams and everything. I had great school teachers. I mean, that's who I looked up to. That's true. All right. But that's different, bro, than actually signing up for a marriage contract.
That was an honor for me. I did not see that as like, oh, well, I need to get compensation for that. Da, da, da. No, I saw that as an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And so ultimately, I just don't understand this. Why do you hate Black children so much? They didn't do anything to create their situation. If that's not.
Bro, wait a minute. With the shaming, man. Like, I could tell Boyce is more influenced by his wife than she's influenced by him, which is a big no-no in a relationship. And a lot of guys have to deal with that. It's like his wife is talking right now. But she has like 3 children. It's like his wife is talking right now. And by the way, Dr. Boyce has a baby mom. This is the thing. I'm like, bro, you got a baby mom your own self. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? What happened? Why you not married to the woman of your own children? Like, look at your own house first, bro. Attend to your own garden first. Because you got a daughter. If I'm not mistaken. I'm not shitting on your daughter. I'm just saying in general, bro, you come on now. Did somebody play stepdad to your daughter? Hold on. Bless King says most dudes that want to be stepfathers have mother issues. Okay. I thought you said the opposite at first. I'm about to bring you on the panel, bro. I thought you said the opposite at first. All right, hold on.
Not a situation for you. You should walk away from that. You should not on any level go in and make somebody feel bad about a situation that's already difficult. If you can't handle it, that's fine. Just stay out of it. So I blame her and I blame the panel. The panel, you can't blame them for just giving whatever dumb advice they were going to give. They can just do that.
They didn't give dumb advice. As a matter of fact, I think the men did speak on it, but the woman just kind of kept it a buck. She said, baby, you might well just go back to your own kid. You got fucking 7.
But the woman, I would say to her, like, why are you even? This is a serious conversation. You need to solve a very serious problem. The first problem you have to solve is what happened here. How did I have 7 children with a man and then have things not work out and then think I can just go and pretend like this never?
I got a few guys on, but guys, we got to cam up. We got to cam up today, fam. We got to cam up today.
Ever occurred. Now your children are going to be affected by the decisions made between you and your husband. You're going to have to work on that. You're going to have to get your kids are going to need therapy most likely, because divorce is very painful for children. When their parents break up, it hurts kids. It hurts them. Right. So that's the first thing I would say. Then I would say number 2 is, no, we're not taking this problem to the podcasters. To hell with those podcasters. These are people that run their mouths on the internet for a living in their mama's basement. They're not relevant to a grown-up situation that you're dealing with. So what we're going to do is we're going to start reading some books. We're going to learn how to raise children. We're going to learn how to attract and how to retain the right kind of man. Because I don't care how many kids, a woman could have 1,000 kids. If she is a good-looking woman who knows how to treat a man well, there are real men out here who say, you know what, it ain't nothing but a thing to take care of those 7 kids.
Why is he using this type of language? So you're not a real man if you don't want to take care of somebody else's kids, bro. I'm telling you, he sounds like his wife. She's the head of household. Literally, she's the head of, like, he's taking. Come on, bro. Oh man. Mr. Travolta with a $5 super chat says, this guy's talking BS. Why didn't he marry the mother of his father's students? He said, usual crowd women say, if you're a real man, X, Y, and Z. Yeah, man. I mean, bruh, you know what? This is the crazy part, man. I'm a little just disappointed. I'm going to pull up the panel in a second, man. I'm going to play a little bit more of this. I'm going to take a quick break, and I'm going to pull everybody up on the panel. All right, but, man, when this whole YouTube thing popped off, and you got thought leaders, you know, Dr. Umar, Dr. Boyce, Tariq Nasheed, and everything. It was a beautiful thing at one moment, bro. It was a beautiful thing because it was like we was going through a lot in the Black community with the police violence and all that. Like, we was going through a lot, you know, Flint. We was going through a lot, and to see brothers kind of stepping up to the plate and saying things, you know, it was good. But now it just seemed like everybody just kind of trying to find their own narrative to a certain degree. They're trying to find their own narrative. And the narrative is, all right, Black women, they generate billions of dollars. They give away a lot of money. They make money too as well. And all you have to do is throw Black men under the bus at this point. Tariq doesn't do it, but he has a little bit of a balance. But Dr. Umar, at every single moment they can, they go on any podcast and just shit on Black men, and it's just weird because they're Black men. All right. So I'm gonna play a little bit more, guys, and we're gonna bring the panel up.
I got plenty of money, and the kids are awesome. We got a little basketball team. We can do little league football. Now I got 7 little people I can train that can help me in my business. We can build a family business, babe. We can build an empire, right? So one of the things that only real men are going to get this. The fake men are not going to get this. They're going to be repulsed by this. But one thing that I learned over time is that weak men create opportunities for strong men to build empires. The punk ass men that neglect their responsibilities give you a wonderful opportunity to get the experience of fatherhood, to get an opportunity to have young people. Do you know how many young kids I have that I did not give birth to, who are loyal, who are going to be loyal to me to the death, who would fight for me, die for me, take care of me in old age because I poured into them when they were young? And do you understand that it is awesome to say I helped make sure this young person grew up to be an asset to the Black community and not a liability? A lot of these kids that go out here and murder people, shoot people up, traumatize the community, robbing people, stealing, hurting other people, it's because nobody cared about them. Everybody neglected them. You, as the leaders of the Black, how many of you consider yourselves to be members of the Black community? Give me a yes in the chat if you consider yourself.
All right, Dr. Boyce, shut that. All right, that's enough, bro. That's enough. He's just gonna keep ranting about the same shit. All right, I'm gonna bring a panel on, guys. Let me do a quick commercial. We're gonna bring the panel on. All right.
What's your opinion? We have a problem with is on Black women as a reason to go over to take advantage of women who are not financially stable. You go over here and find somebody who's going to treat you like a kid.
Download now on the App Store and Google Play.
All right. Hold on. We up in here, man. Hey, Global Passport. Where's your passport at? Where's your passport at, bro? That bad boy on fire, player. Set it on fire. You put his passport out.
Burn it? Or you
burn it up, bro. You got to go back. You got to return it back to the black community. Class perspective, you too. Where your passport at? Set them on fire, player. What's going on, fellas? What's going on, man? What's up with your boy? What's up with your boy, man?
Global Passport Crew, would you like to go first, or would you like for me to respond first?
I'll give you the honors, Classy.
Well, it's simple when it comes. I would tell Dr. Boyce Watkins to please stay the finances because you don't have no fight in this game. It's obviously clear that, like Dr. Umar, you need to get money. You need to get the support of black women on your side. No different than Joe Biden in this coming election coming soon. The problem is with him is that he said one thing that I did agree with. He said once about the sister, how are you going to be able to find a man when you have invested 7 kids into one gentleman? At that point, you should be married to that man. I mean, think about it. You went through 9 months into the hospital 7 times. There had to be something valuable about this one gentleman that you said he deserves 7 children. He is going to be a great father. Obviously, that's not the case because you're on a show telling people that you're looking for a new man to come and do what? To deal with a woman like that, you're going to have a World War II blueprint on how to go to McDonald's, on how to spend money to buy food for all 7 of those children. Number 2, I will say this. Let's say one thing. I work in the medical field, right? Mm-hmm. No man in America has reproductive rights to say anything if a child is born or a child should be, deleted, which I don't like. I don't like abortion, but at the same time, because I've seen it, I don't like it, but at the same time, there's other options. There's plan B. There's all these different options. And the ones who have all the problems with those options seems to be black women. I've seen Hispanic women, Asian women that have taken these things and nothing bad has happened to them. So how is it that only is happening to one culture of women? And on top of that, no, he's right. I do not blame these kids because they were brought into a situation between 2 selfish parents, a woman who decided to bring them in the world indiscriminately without doing any background check on a man that she decided to have children with, and a man who is just letting his sperm off indiscriminately into a woman, knowing good and for, almost cussed, knowing for good and well, he didn't want to be with this woman long term. And right, the children are going to suffer behind this because they need guidance. And the fact is, they don't deserve that. And I will tell the black community, no, these children don't deserve the fact that we have selfish people in the world that don't know how to control their libido. And as for Boyce Watkins, he is a bumbling idiot. I don't have no sympathy for him because the fact of the matter is, looking at that picture with Willie D, she showed more admiration for him, and he looked like an old husband cuckold. And he's like Russell Wilson. Oh, God told me to take care. Hey, let me say this one thing. There are going to be men out here that are going to be stepfathers. I'm not knocking that. For whatever reason, that's what they choose to do. Perfectly fine. But do not ask men like me, BMT Global Passport Crew. I don't know if y'all have children or not. I don't have children because you know what? My sperm is seen as the gold mint, the U.S. mint of the United States. Mine is like the Fort Knox. Everybody don't deserve it. And in this country right now, with inflation and the way that the court system, judiciary system treats men, why would a man put himself in a position to say, oh, I would love to have this woman out of billions of women around the world. I want this woman right here. I'm sorry. I want to say something funny right quick. If a man chooses that woman, I wouldn't be surprised if he opened up her vaginal hole and they're all sitting in there, all the men sitting there waving back, talking about, hi, kids, do you like violence? Want to reach one of my nails and reach one of my eyelids? Want to call me and do exactly what I did, mess up and get all these kids just like I did? He's an idiot. He needs the views, and it's sad there's somebody that is an intellectual that's talking like this. But I digress because I got more to say, but I want to hear other people talk. Go ahead.
Facts. Global Passport, you want to jump in there?
You know, this argument is just a level of stupidity that I can't fathom. especially for someone with a degree who should knows critical thinking. Why is it always the responsibility of a single man to go play cleanup man for someone else's mistake? Why are you blaming us for her not having sexual discipline? If you didn't want these kids, there's something called contraceptive. Use it. This is not our problem. Why are you making this issue our problem? Why are you ranting on us? Why don't you go find the fathers and rant on them and make them take their responsibility? They're the one that created them. They're the one that you should be ranting on. Why are you ranting on us? If we don't want to be stepdads, that's our business. This is our life. You're too busy worried about what these kids are going through. And, God bless them. They're kids. We ain't got no hatred for these kids whatsoever. But at the same time, why are you forcing us to take care of another man's responsibility? Go find little thuggo and little hood rat, and you start jumping down their throat and tell them, yo, you get in here and you start taking care of these kids. You start financially giving money to these women. You go and marry this woman and you take care of your responsibilities. And as far as the women are concerned, you start making these dudes wear condoms and you start using contraceptive if you can't financially deal with having these kids. All right. This is stupid. When you're going to have unprotected intercourse with a man, you're going to get pregnant. And God forbid if you catch any diseases. But what ticks me off is you putting all the burden of someone else's mistakes and someone else's problems on somebody who's totally innocent and has nothing to do with this. Why are you blaming us, innocent men? We're trying to live our life. Key word, our life, the way we want to live it. We ain't got nothing to do with these kids. We ain't got nothing to do with these moms. So whatever they did in their life, that's their business. It's not my responsibility to take care of someone else's kids. If I choose to do so, that's my decision. I know what I'm getting myself into, and I'll take on the task. It's not that we don't hate it or we don't want it. I don't knock the whole person who wants to be a stepdad, because who knows? Guys want to go overseas, they may pick up a woman who have kids. That's their decision. If they want to do that, that's their business, even the ones overseas. But don't sit here and try to lecture and shame us and guilt us and all this other stuff, saying that you need to go back to the Black community and take care of these kids. No, that's not my problem. If they made them, that's their problem. Be an adult and deal with the situation. Don't be forcing other single men to go over there and deal with a problem that they had nothing to do with. And we have to invest our money because we bust our butts to get out of the hood. We started off poor, and we bust our butts to get to a level that we're making six figures. We're getting a higher education. And now you're going to tell me I have to invest my money back into someone else's mistakes?
And you know what? Go with passport? That's basically what he's saying. He's not mentioning the money, financial aspect of it, right? Because it'd be too logical. But he's mentioning all the emotional. Oh, these women, these kids, they're going to be, you don't care about your community. You don't care about the future of the kids. But it's like, what about the financial incentive you have? Because in America, even if you're dating a woman that got multiple kids, she can still try to put them papers on you, bro. If y'all live together or something like that, she can put those papers on you. I've seen it happen.
Exactly.
I've seen it happen. And the kids are super, super expensive, man. I want to catch a super chat, but my man, Cool G's Heating in there. Shout out to you, bro. We hung out there in Thailand. Said salute to the panel and to the bros. Shout out to my man, Cool G. I want to welcome Ronan Travers.
What up, Ronan?
What's going on, Global?
Good.
What's up, Classy? Thank you for BMT for bringing me up. I appreciate it. My background is 56 years old. I'm also a father and I'm a stepfather. I've been married twice.
Okay.
I have I have 4 sons.
Okay.
And I had a baby mama before I got married. So I have all the experience in the world in every avenue when it comes to relationships. Had a high school sweetheart, got pregnant with my oldest son. Got married when I was in the Marine Corps and had 3 children with her. Then I got married again and she already had she already had a son that was 8 years old.
Okay.
So I have every avenue of talking about this subject. And it is not a beneficial thing for a man to be a stepfather. It's just not.
Oh, wow.
I did everything right as a stepfather. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not only did I take that young man under my wing, when I got married to his mother, I brought in all my sons from all over the country. Okay. I brought my nephew in from another part of the country, and they all welcomed him into the family. They all exchanged IG, Facebooks, and all that. So I raised this young man from the age of 8 until he was 22. When me and his mother got divorced, no loyalty.
Wow.
Okay. Now, not only did I do that, during the process, his mother became disabled.
Mm-hmm.
So for the first 3 years, everything was fine. She went and got disabled. I nursed her back to health. By the time she got back to being about 80 to 90%, she still walked away from the marriage, saying that she had never lived on her own.
Shameful.
So while I'm raising this young man, I reintroduced him to his father. All the Pop Warner football games, I filmed them all. Started sending him all the Pop Warner games for his son so he could start being proud of his son, wanting to talk to his son. Okay. As he went through high school, announced for his football, basketball games, filmed them all, put them on YouTube for his family back east, his father's family, to watch and be proud of his son. No loyalty. He's not my blood. At the end of the day, when I divorced his mother, I was also divorcing him.
Wow.
Now that boy sounds exactly like me. I sold insurance for years. That boy had my pitch down better than I did. He knew he was talking to his friends and his friends' family about insurance for me. So he sounds exactly like me. The information and the mentorship that I gave that young man, all in him, ingrained in him, sounds exactly like me. He's still not my son.
Let me get you super chat real quick. Don, the coach, he's a member, been a member for 9 months. I really appreciate it. He says, I am late to the live today. I'm working on my video on this topic right now. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Don, the coach. He's also on the Passport Bros app. All right. I didn't mean to interrupt you, brother.
No. So, at the end of the day, yeah, it's a good thing traditionally back in the day. Yeah. Raising a man as a stepfather was a honor.
Yeah.
But morality has changed.
It was almost common within the Black community, bro.
Morality has changed. Yes. The morality of the women, the aspects of these millennials and their expectations and their entitlement. Yes, let's use that word, entitlement. The women in our community are highly entitled, overly so. And some to where they don't even they shouldn't even expect that type of entitlement based on their own actions, their physical fitness, the way they look. They still all have it. None of us as Black men have that entitlement. Our first option, truly, if you really think about it, we would love to be with Black women. That's our first option. But when they don't act right, and when their sense of entitlement is so overly blown, we start looking elsewhere. But we look in our community as the first option. Most people will admit to that. Okay, so it's not us. It's never been us. It's never been about us. But Dr. Boyce Watkins, oh my God, this man should stick to academics when it comes to mathematics and stay out of everything else. He is highly delusional and a beta male.
So, Ronan, when you listen to the video, even though you was a stepfather for quite some time, you didn't agree with none he said.
No. He's delusional. He is thinking in a beta male aspect, just like you were saying about him being subservient to his wife.
It's not like it was his wife talking.
Yeah, exactly. She put all that in him. He's regurgitating what she told him, what she taught him. He learned from her. And that's the way it sounds. He learned from her. He didn't learn from being his own man. He didn't learn
He
to
has
be
3
his own man.
stepchildren by her, right? Was it 3?
I think
Something
she
like
has
that.
3 children, and then somebody just said he's a baby daddy, which I didn't even realize he had a kid. Let's
Yeah, he
talk
has a
about
daughter.
that.
Yeah, he has a daughter. Yep.
Yeah, let's talk about why haven't you decided to marry your original baby mama before you start? And that's the same thing with Dr. Umar Johnson.
Mhm.
You're going to put this edict on black men in the community to take care of single mothers, but yet and still you fathered 2 female daughters, and you decided not to marry either one of them because they weren't from the same woman. So you got all these community leaders that are sitting here setting these edicts for black men to change their direction and what they're doing in order to have a positive life, to go backtrack for all these single mamas that were raised to be so independent and so entitled that we can't even deal with them anymore. Are you crazy?
Let me catch a super chat by Mr. Travolta with a $5. I think that's the British pound. He says, in Black American community, why is it so difficult for y'all to use birth control? Both men and women. I'm Black British, half African, so no shade, curious. I appreciate the super chat, man. But
go ahead. I talked enough. Go ahead, Classy. Go ahead and take that one, brother.
Well, you went to that, Classy?
Well, working in the medical field, I want to say this. That's because a lot of these people are choosing not to use any contraceptive. You have a lot of people, a lot of women on the other side, they're not paying attention to their menstrual cycle. A lot of these women are not going to get regular checkups. We already know the stats behind all that. And on the other side of the field, you have a lot of men who refuses to wear condoms. And on top of that, you have a lot of these young men in our age bracket. Yes, let's call it what it is. A lot of these guys didn't have fathers. Whatever situation that may be, whether the mother had kicked them out of the child's life, or the child's father was just as irresponsible as they were. So all they're doing is following the pattern. Because I know, I mean, for a condom to actually have a mistake, it's 85%. It's going to work for you 85% of the time. And I always tell the birth control of most women is at a 95% rate.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know that personally. Now, have there been some problems with women taking birth control? Yes, but it's less than like 5 to 6%. But every woman is using that as their barometer, is that it happens to every single woman, and that's not true. And see, but I always tell a lot of men, if you really want to be responsible, never take condoms from women. You bring your own condoms, you buy your own, and once you're done, you put it in a doggy bag if you're at her house, and you take it back to your house and throw it in your trash can.
Classy, say that again.
Never flush them down the toilet, because I had a friend that actually bottled one up and put one down the toilet, flushed it, it came back up, and she was still able to get pregnant because the condom was still crunched and the sperm was still alive. So I always tell them,
bro, say that again. I mean, even Drake had an incident with that.
Yes, and I do condone putting the habanero sauce on condoms if you're going to be reckless to leave it around for a woman to grab them.
You said habanero sauce?
That's what Drake did. And he wasn't the first person that did that. There was another person that did that. The woman sued him, took it to court, and the judge sided with the man.
That's crazy.
But I digress. Next person can talk. Sorry.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Go ahead, bro.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
It's just crazy, man. Like I said before, how these thought leaders had so much momentum going on. You know, when I first thought Boyce came out, I was like, okay, it's cool, intelligent brother, you know, teaching us financial advice for the community is very important. You know, we all love the community, we all love the kids. And then for some odd reason, he went into this relationship ring when nobody was looking at him for that. I'm like, Boyce, we ain't really like chill, bro. Like, you know, you're a basketball player, you know, talking about football right now. Like, we ain't really tripping on that. We just want the financial advice. But he kind of trying to do this segue into like the relations thing, and it just hasn't really worked out for him. It's crazy. It's crazy, especially in this day and age where I think, Ronan, you said before, you said, you know, most men want to get women from their own community. It's just, we lazy. Like, we just want to get a woman right across the street. There you go. Boom. There you go. We're not really, the whole dating thing, men don't really necessarily like dating. It's expensive. It's time draining. You end up, especially when you get over what I would say about 25. It's like, fuck, you know what I'm saying? I gotta meet this new woman. I gotta see what type of crazy she is. Because they all kind of like throw it a little bit. Like, okay, let me see if she's crazy A, crazy B. What type of craziness can I deal with from this particular woman? Right? And I would say, let me ask the panel this, and whoever wants to respond first is fine. If the sisters in this community were just a little bit more solid, do you think this Passport Bros ideology or movement would be so big?
Bruh. What?
I think that we would still travel, but it wouldn't be talked about as much.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Ronan, what you guys say to that?
I mean, that's kind of like an open-ended question. It would have to take a drastic change in what you mean the sisters in the community and their mindset, right, because they are so far gone now. A little bit of change is still not going to be effective enough to keep us from wanting to expand our opportunities in other countries. We're talking 40 years of ingrained teaching, 40, 50 years of ingrained teaching ever since the 60s and 70s. Of baby mamas raising kids because of social services. Let me go back and set the tale for a lot of these people that don't understand. They're historical revisionists out here nowadays. They like to change the real truth of what happened back then. I don't know if you guys used to watch Good Times back in the day. Okay,
I watched the reruns.
Okay, so Good Times back in the day, it talked about the 60s. Okay. And back then there was a real employment issue. Okay. It was an economic downturn. So a lot of black men had problems with supporting their families. Then you had social services come out with being able to get welfare and food for your children. Now, men did the honorable thing because the rule was you can't have the man in the house in order to get these services. So men freely stepped out of the house so that their children could be provided for by the state while they waited for this economic downturn to change and turn around. Okay. So once it did change and turn around, the women were already comfortable. They would rather take that money from the government than to have a man come back into the house. Okay. So then that started the whole downturn right there. And around the 70s, men trying to get back in the house. No, your dad is deadbeat. No, your dad did the honorable thing and stepped out of the house so you guys could eat while he lived on the street or did whatever he had to do to hustle to make some money. And he still brought that money back to that woman outside of the government knowing to support his children. But that's not talked about. Again, these revisionists want you to think a certain way. Okay. So we're now looking at, by the 80s, crack cocaine and all these other things coming into the communities. Now you have very young children having children because a lot of their mothers are already strung out on drugs. There was even a media interview, I think in the 70s or 80s, where they had a lot of young black women or girls that already had children. And there was an interview. It said, would you rather have your baby daddy come live with you, or would you rather try to do it on your own? Because they already knew the social services system was already there. A lot of these young black women on this interview said, I would rather do it myself. I don't need no man. This is in the 80s. We're what? 2024? This is the programming that you have had all this time. Where the mothers have raised the girls to be independent and they have coddled the young men. That's why you have a lot of young men that are highly emotional. They don't know how to control their emotions. They weren't taught and they weren't mentored by men. Okay.
And then on top of that,
then you have these black women that are expecting men to be men, but yet and still you raised your young boys to stay boys.
But then on top of the 80s, the 90s, they came with the mass incarceration. So they took the father out of the home They introduced drugs to the community. All right. Then they locked everybody up for selling drugs. And that was probably the mass incarceration. That probably was the end, really. Honestly.
And BMT, do you know who signed that bill? Who created that bill?
I think it was Bill Clinton.
No, it was Joe Biden.
Oh
yeah, he helped push it.
Signed as well.
He helped push it,
yeah, he signed as well.
Everybody thought it was Bill Clinton that created. No, it was Joe Biden behind this 100%. Bill Clinton did push it through. I'm not saying that's wrong.
Well, Bill Clinton did the 3 strikes out shit. Because back in the day, a lot of young cats don't know, you had dudes coming home from prison 10, 12 times. I'm like, damn, you out of prison? Like, they would go in and out.
Revolving door. Yeah.
Yeah, they did the whole.
Because again, we were in hustle mode. Back in the 60s, we were in hustle mode. It was whatever. We had to do to make money because the plants had closed. Steel mills were moving. All the things that made us profitable, they were going away. So what did black men have available for them besides running the streets? That hustle.
Yeah, the hustle. Yep. That's where all that pimp culture and gangster culture kind of came from. Because previously, if you look at any of the old footage, and I love seeing this old footage. I don't know if it's a page or something, but they kind of make the old footage, black and white footage, look like new.
Right.
So sometimes they had a black community in the 1930s and 1940s, own neighborhoods, grocery stores, 2-parent households. You can tell there wasn't a lot of money being circulated, but they still kind of had their community.
Correct.
And
they were supportive of their communities as well. Basically. Right. They were supportive of their communities. They had community outreach programs. Same thing with gangs. Before the gangs even broke into doing a whole bunch of legal stuff.
Our grandparents got married at 18, 19.
Yep.
The women never had a wild phase at that point. Don't get me wrong. Granny was at the little shoot joint. You know what I'm saying? She was drinking a little moonshine with your granddad, but we still had something there. Like, she wasn't out there. There wasn't no OnlyFans.
There were still traditional values within those women.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there were still traditional values. Women were having like 6, 7, 8 kids for the most part.
10, 12, 13.
10, 12, 13.
Yeah, from my grandmother, my great-grandmother, there was 10 to 13 of them. Siblings. Big families.
Yeah. Big
families. Back in the day, you never know. A lot of them could die from cholera or some kind of disease. So they had big families, especially if they were farmers or worked the land. You need those hands. So you had a lot of kids. That was just tradition.
And also, you have to add in the fact that the lifespan during that time period was very short.
Correct.
Facts. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Travolta with a $5 super pound again. He says, most other communities have a far few single mothers. We as Black people should take responsibility, use protection, and marry before you carry. It's not hard. All right, Mr. African. Okay, I got you. Shout out to Africa. Does Africa have a big single mom rate? I don't think they do they? I know South America is big on it, but I don't think Africa has a real big single mother. I'm not sure.
Nakmeezy is up in here. He could tell you everything.
Oh Lord, Nakmeezy has killing puppies.
No shade, man. Nakmeezy knows a lot, man. I mean, yeah,
he does. He does. Shout out to Stacks82 with the $4.99 super chat. Being a stepdad in America is more dangerous than Medellin.
Bro, depending on who the father is, he ain't lying. You got to deal with that personality, and that there's a lot that comes with being a stepfather.
Yeah.
And
Max says single moms are all over Africa, South America, and Thailand.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Philippines as well. Philippines has a high single mother rate as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not just limited to the Black community. I don't know why the brother kept kind of trying to put that out there.
So it's starting to become rampant, and that's the morality clause of social media and easy access to a lot of different things nowadays. It's corrupted a lot of minds.
If you go back to history, man, outside of colonization, a lot of us had multiple wives before the West kind of infected our communities and stuff like that. We have 2, 3 wives, basically.
Here we go. Yeah. Here we go.
I mean, we had to. You had more women than men. So you had to have multiple wives or women you took care of, basically.
Exactly. But even if you look at the birth rate, there are more females being born than males. Why do you think that is? If it wasn't traditionally more advantageous for men to have multiple women,
It's a great point.
Society changed. Our way of appropriation did not.
You look at any black family at a family reunion, you're gonna see 20, 30 women and probably like 10, 12 guys. That's just what it is. You birth more women than me. That's just what it is.
Now that's why you have all these cultures like Japan, China, all of them dropping off by population because they had the one baby rule. And in order to carry on your family name, you needed a male. So they aborted all the females. Now they have a problem. There are countries now that are paying you to come in and live there, marry their women to have babies.
It's kind of hard to be in a country with 3 billion people and most of them are women.
No, most of them are boys.
Most of them are boys, excuse me.
And that's why Chinese men are going down to Africa and marrying all kind of different people.
They are.
You have Asians going all over the world to find wives because there's not enough in China. And that's socially acceptable now, where it was not before. Yes. Why is that? They have no choice but to mix.
You know what was crazy though? I seen a clip of an Asian man that did that. You know, he went to China. He went to Africa, actually living in Africa. But his boys identified with being Chinese. They said they wasn't African. So that's interesting.
Here we go with the Dominicans. I'm no black.
No black. But that's interesting that they spoke with it, even though they was like, they was your complexion, Ronan, but they just say that they nationalized with China. So that's coming from the father. You know what I'm saying? That's coming from the dad to say, hey, yeah, I know y'all mixed and everything, but you can identify as being a Chinese man.
Do you think that have something to do with the caste system? With like classism versus just more than just race in itself?
For which culture?
For the basically for the African culture. Because we do know, especially I talked to some Africans here in America, they say first generation Africans in America, they overly praise white men because they see them as the upper pinnacle of having success or opportunities.
You talking about Asians?
No, Africans.
No, he said Africans.
Oh, Africans. Okay.
Now you go for what you know. If that's your colonizer and they in your mind are your successors or your graders, of course you're always going to look up to them. Just like all the Asian cultures, their first choice would be a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white man. Why would that be?
Yeah.
That's every culture. Even if you go down through South America.
Oh, indeed.
Yeah. That's every woman's dream when it comes to another culture. That's because of colonization.
Hey man, I was so shocked when I was in Brazil and I found that out. I was like, what the?
You didn't know that, BMT?
No, not at all, man.
Yeah, a lot of sisters in Bahia, Salvador, they'll look down on you because their perception is that either you date outside your race or for them that you don't qualify for them, even if you are American.
True.
We got Nat Measy with the $6, I think that's the pound. I'm not sure what that is, but shout out to you, Nat Measy. He said single moms in Nigeria are 95% of the total population. With a population of over 200 million, that's an easy 20 million fatherless kids. Yeah,
insane.
That's a lot.
I also talked to somebody from Jamaica. They said their single mother rate is at 85%.
In Jamaica, 85?
That's not unbelievable. I actually believe that.
Well, what's the ratio between men and women in Jamaica?
That's a good point. I should have asked that question.
I can guarantee you a lot of those are probably foreign babies. Jamaican women trying to tie in with foreigners in order to get an extra income coming in from outside their country, just like Thailand and all these other countries.
I do agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
You are a paycheck. No matter what country you go to, as an American man, you are always going to be a paycheck. Whether they rob you on the short game or whether they get pregnant or whether they get pregnant and have a child by you on the long game.
Say it again.
You know what? I was having this conversation with some group chat a couple of days ago. I said, man, I don't care what country you're in. You're American. They looking at you as a source of income. I don't care what you look like, mixed. I don't care if you have this, have that. mean, you American. And you know what? Even like, I know when I dated this Colombian girl who was pretty much Colombian American, she even had to deal with that when she went back. She's like, her people thought that she was just this rich person. They would treat her a little differently, you know?
I mean,
So
Global Passport, we both know, being military guys, we are highly sought after, period. You guys are coming into it, you know, but military guys, we've known this for years, that passport is everything to a lot of cultures.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what's crazy though?
Yeah.
America dating has got so transactional. I still feel like you get more bang for your buck outside of it, regardless.
Every
Because
place is transactional.
bro, in America, they be asking you for you ask a girl for a phone number. She gonna say, what's your cash app? Shoot me a cash app. Like, damn, I just want your phone number. Like, I gotta send you some money.
And guaranteed that chick's got an OnlyFans or some other PayPal page that she's got running on her IG.
And you know what they're doing now? You know what my brother said they're doing now? He said, man, these chicks be having like 2 Instagram pages. Instagram that their family know about, their friends, and their job might know about. They got whole nother Instagram.
Yeah. I've seen it myself.
The only fan link on it. She go by a whole different name. She might wear a wig.
Yeah, his internet been acting up.
We done lost the host.
Come back to us, BMT.
Yeah, but you're right. Guys in the military, I mean, just 100% disabled. Let me tell you, the check you get and you moving out to Thailand. Oh man,
you know that was a standard global. A lot of the guys are talking about the minute they retired, they were going over to Philippines and opening up a bar, buying out a nice little house with a little Filipino chick, having a couple live-in maids and cooks and running a bar. You know, because they knew the money was coming in every time the ships would come into port.
I got a $2 super chat by Original Man. I really appreciate that. He says, doctors Boyce Twatkins and Umar Johnson don't speak for us here in America. Refuse to be the cleanup man to a baby mama of 7. Meanwhile, Umar has 2 baby mamas. He's never been married.
Here.
Man.
For the life of me, I will never understand a man that has 2 men that has children out of wedlock and never married the mother is going to give advice to other men.
Especially single men who just doing their own thing, minding their own business. Man, but yet you don't jump on these baby daddies that's not doing their thing.
Exactly.
Every podcast I see Dr. Umar on, they always bring up that interracial dating thing. And I get it, Dr. Umar, you know, but damn, bro, like, let it go. Like, he's become almost a comical figure at this point.
But you know who his audience is? His audience are Black women. He's got to do that in order to get money.
That's the sense of it.
That's his
he knows exactly what he's doing.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Drew with $1.99 Super J says, salute to my veteran bros on the panel.
What's up, Drew?
What's up, Drew?
All right, we got Mr. Travolta again with the $5 pound. He says, Nat Measy, with blacks, we are funny. When someone points out a problem with us, you always have to say, what about X, rather than addressing the original point. All right.
That sounds like a little side conversation.
Yeah, Mr. Travolta, he wants that smoke. You know, he wants to smoke. Somebody said, I can't say Dr. Umar ran any scams. I don't know if the school. I mean, he got some money up out of me. I don't know what's going on with the school. I know I sent money.
Bro, don't get me started on Dr. Umar. No.
You know, I remember
that's a no-go subject, brother. Come on.
Yo,
13 years. Stop.
My girlfriend at the time.
Look, I worked for corporate America a lot of years. Some are retired now. Okay. There is no way, if I had a project in corporate America, a Fortune 100 company, it took me 13 years to get a project done, I would have been fired. How you consider yourself a leader of men and wanting to teach young boys on how to be successful, and you can't even get a goddamn school set up in a decent amount of time? Now, there's been several other people that have not only set up a school, but also set up a Black museum in shorter time periods, but you can't get one school set up. And then it's going to be non-accredited. So whatever you're teaching these kids ain't going to be transferable to any college. So what is the point? Did you know it was going to be non-accredited? So what is he teaching them that's going to be transferable to a university so these young men can get, these young men can actually get degrees?
All right, so hold on. He's saying that it's a delay, and it will be open to start 24th, 25th school year.
That's what he said 2 years ago.
He said that
He's
too.
been saying that every 2 years. He's
Yeah.
been saying it. I'm done. It's not done. It's not going to open.
And again, what's the sense of having a non-accredited school? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you got to be accredited, man. All right. I got Just John, the $5 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. He says, salute to Brother Ronan. Wanted to add to the previous comment, a lot of Latino men want blonde hair, blue-eyed girls too. I'm also guilty. Somebody called out the Umar, man. You know, I'm joking around too. Though. I like them all too, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, I can't be racist, man. I'm too mixed up in my own.
There you go.
I just like beautiful women, period. I don't care.
And you know what? At this point in the world, bro, you just got to go with who follows your program at this point. It don't matter if she's Asian, white, black, blue, or green. It ain't gotten so bad out here now.
You only live one time in life.
I mean, the biggest flex, really, if you really want to think about it, the quicker we can mix with every other race, the quicker white people can't say shit.
Elaborate on that. I would like to hear more.
Hold on. Let's not go too deep.
I don't want to get off topic, but I'm just saying, think about
not
it.
Not to do that. I was just curious.
Think about that for a second.
Somebody said 400 lashes for all of y'all. Man, that's crazy.
Swimming in the milk.
It's just crazy that he went there, man. Shout out to Growth Talk with Kofa Donna that super chat. Says WTF non-accredited. Shaking my head. I didn't know it was gonna be non-accredited either, though.
Mm-hmm. That's the only way he can get away with what he's going to teach. Because then you'll have oversight by the school board of education from not only the state, but the federal level, especially if you're wanting grant money or any kind of money's coming in. So how you can continue to support a school after it's set up if you're not going to be accredited because you're not going to get any government funding. So you're going to constantly need donations in order to support the salaries and the overhead of an operation of a school. People are not paying attention to what this man is saying.
Yeah,
but you know what else? I saw a video not too long ago with Dr. Umar. He was saying, this might have been last year actually. He was saying that he had got a bad black contractor, and he had to go to another race of contractor to get the school done. That was a whole year ago.
Lord Jesus.
You still kind of put it on black men indirectly, like, yeah, I'm trying to work with my people.
Why would you do that? Why would you put it on another black man?
You know? So I got a super chat here by Original Man, $10 super chat, guys. And we're going to go ahead and close up the show soon. We got Brother Medium Man provides the stats on U.S. black men. 57.25% of us are single childless. 33% compared to 27% black women, and less than 20% are Pookies and Ray Rays. That's 70% of baby mamas share.
Those are all facts.
All facts.
Okay. You want to know how I know?
Because you work in the medical industry.
There you go. And every time a person fills out any application, anything, they're going to ask you your marital status, how many kids you got, and everything. And all that stuff is put in record. We know about all of it. So nobody can say, well, it's false. The hospital has all the records.
Statistical data, CDC. Let's go.
Data.
Somebody, Drew said, it's a super chat. I appreciate that. He says, bro, we are not paying attention to Dr. Umar and not funding. He got some money up out of me. That's for damn sure. But guys, it's been a great show. I want to appreciate everybody for coming on the panel. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. We're almost at this 2 hours. I'm going to start with Global Passport Crew. You want to say anything in closing? You going to bring your passport?
Don't pay attention to these guys. I don't care what degrees they hold. You know, I hold a master's degrees. I don't think I'm better than anybody. People got their opinions. You know, you go your own way, do what you got to do, man. Make yourself happy. This is your life. You're not here to save everybody else's lives. You're here to save your life. You're here to do for you. That's it. Don't worry about everybody else. That's their mistake. They got to be an adult to get themselves out of that situation. They continue to keep making that mistake. That's their life. Let them go their own path and let them make their own decision. Don't be a part of that decision because it's going to ruin what God has put in your life. So don't just follow your path and do your own thing, man.
All right. Rich J $2 super chat says Dr. Umar will show us an aquarium school of fish. Damn, that's what my $5 went to. Damn. All right, class of perspective. You want to tap in before we go?
I'm in agreement with everything Global Passport Crew has said. Hey, man, if you're a single man and you don't have a lot holding you down, hey, only thing to do is keep going up, doing what you have to do to survive in this world. You only got one life. Hey, take it from me. And I'm not trying to brag about me being in the medical field. I'm sorry about that. But I've put so many people in the morgue, people who had a chance and people who didn't have a chance to live out their life. Live out your life the best way you can. Do not pay attention to Dr. Umar Johnson. Do not pay attention to Dr. Boyce Watkins. I'm not telling you you have to go around here and have disdain and hatred towards Black women. All I'm telling you to do is live your life the way you see best for you. If you happen to find a wife in America, then that's perfectly fine. That's cool. I'm not against that. Whatever floats your boat. All I want you gentlemen to do is be happy with your life and live it to the best of your ability until we are gone.
Facts. Good points. Good points. Shout out to my man Nat Measy once again with a $60 super chat. I mean $6 super chat. I'm sorry. He said, Mr. Travolta, you want smoke? Loser super chat $100 if you can afford it. So they got smoke in the chat.
Get them, Nat.
That'd be on it. All right, rolling travels with Alex, brother. You have the floor, sir.
Hey, I appreciate it for being invited up. Again, you know, you got to stop listening to a lot of these internet popular people. I don't care if they got doctorates or not. They don't make them expert in all things. You know, as a father, as a man that's lived my life for 56 years, you know, I tell my sons the same thing. Find something that you enjoy doing and do it to the best of your ability every day. It doesn't matter what it is. And as a military man, I encourage everybody to get out and travel around the world. You'll have more respect not only for this country, but you'll also start to learn and appreciate other cultures, and you'll become wiser as the people that stay here in their own cities and never travel. They are so ignorant to what the real global economy and the whole global picture looks like versus somebody that travels. You're a whole better individual for traveling. So I encourage everybody, passport bros, whatever you want to call yourself, to get out and travel and do what does do you best. And as an insurance guy, I've seen way too many people die working real hard to make a lot of money, and they wind up dying before they can even use it. Don't wait until you're 65, 70 to start traveling. Do the things you need to do now, make your money, go enjoy the world, see the planet, do what you need to do. There is no tomorrow. Understand that. There is no tomorrow because tomorrow's not promised. Too many young people are dying now. Don't matter what your age is. Don't matter what you got in your bank account. You working hard for what? The pressures of what the perception of reality of this society is telling you what you can do. You go to other cultures, they make far less and are way happier.
Facts.
So think about what you're really doing and what you really want, and whether that's driven by you or society norms or what says that you are successful. I've worked with millionaires. I've dealt with a lot of different people with a lot of high income. Doesn't make them any happier. Okay. So whatever your drive is to be successful, you can only dictate what your success is. But live your life. Be happy. Travel. Don't worry about what anybody else says. Do what makes you happy, because you're not promised to open up your eyes the next day. And I've seen it. And families get ugly over money. So whatever you leave, whatever your intentions were or what you were going to leave, it ain't never going to be set up right unless you have a trust. They will tear your shit apart as hard as you work to get it. They will disrespect it when you're not here. I've seen it. That's it.
Man, I need some sound effects for that one, man. I wish I could do some clapping hands, but that was a good outro, brother. I really appreciate that, man. I gotta have you on the show again. All of you on the show again. I appreciate you guys coming on. Definitely appreciate you guys coming on. Peace. All right. Great show, family. Great show. Let me catch this last super chat. Mr. Travolta with the $5 British pound says, Nat Measy, I'm not 12 years old and I do not want smoke. You haven't addressed any of my points. Y'all should use protection. That's the cause of the problem. All right. Shout out to you. I appreciate the super chats, Mr. Travolta. But before we go, family, I want to show you guys this real quick. All right. I want to pull this up. All right. This is the section of the app that we have with the blogs. Okay, these are the blogs right here. This is the website version. All right, and you got a lot of travel guides here on the Passport Bros app that you can download for free. All right, now we just drop this article right here. This is like when you write articles, man. You can kind of, we talk here on these chats and on the live stream. But when you put something to print, you really can go beyond what I call the surface level of conversations here. And this is a real powerful article. This was actually a newsletter that went out this morning. We're getting a lot of comments from it. It says, systematic roadblocks, unmasking the matrix grip on progress and power, all right? This is pretty much concerns of men right here, okay? So I'm going to read just one little passage before we go. It says, in Western society, this is the problem. In Western society, the pursuit of progress and empowerment is often seen as a fundamental right for all individuals. However, beneath the surface of this ideal, there exist systematic barriers that disproportionately hinder men from achieving their full potential, both collective and individually. From legal frameworks, and we just spoke about this all day today, to social norms, these barriers manifest in various forms, shaping the experience and trajectories of men in profound ways, okay? One notable arena where the obstacle surface is within the realm of relationships and family dynamics. The high divorce rate prevalent in the United States and other Western countries reflect a complex interplay of social economic factors, legal frameworks, and cultural attitudes. I'll stop right there. Okay, but as we have the problem here, we also come with a solution. Okay, the solution: breaking the barriers through global citizenship. All right, so in this intricate web of Western societal structures, men often find themselves entangled in a matrix of constraints that hinder their journey towards collective and individual empowerment. All right, from legal entanglements to educational hurdles, these barriers can seem insurmountable. However, there exists a path of liberation and empowerment, becoming a global citizen. Okay, guys, so if you want to read the rest of that article, it is up on the Passport Bros app. Okay, once again, I appreciate everybody joining. Till next time, peace.